Thank you so much for having me, Manny. I am so grateful that first of all we got a fourth season. That's unheard of, especially for a Latino show in this day and age. That's a miracle. Nothing short of a miracle. And I'm so happy that Paloma's story goes to where it goes and that she got to grow so much more this season. We truly got to see kind of, and I was going up every season. I was getting a little more and more to play with and more to do. And I think I finally got the chance to truly play with Eugenio and develop our dynamic and yeah, just show a lot more of Paloma this time around. So I'm very, very happy.
Yeah, because that was a big moment, at the end of the season when you were revealed, and then we finally got to get to know you a little bit better. And now here we are, season four. You're working with him and trying to restore Las Colinas. How fun has that been for you? Because it's not it's funny because we love the extended class that we see with the young Máximo and the stories, but there's also these breadcrumbs where we really want to know as fans more about you, about who your mom is, your relationship. There's a lot still more that we want to know. How fun has that been for you to be able to also play such a pivotal part of the series?
It has been so great. I've been wanting to be a part of this show since the first season. I'm obsessed with it. Enrique and I are friends from high school, so just seeing this happen from the outside was so exciting for me. And then getting the chance to play, well, the role was originally named Woman by the end of the second season. We knew nothing about her, and I think a lot of choices were being made even while I was there. Um, I don't really know that we knew where it was going in the next seasons when I first started. So getting to walk that path and to see it grow to what it has become has been truly wonderful. I think Paloma also added a just a different spice to the present day where we got to see Maximo truly fighting for, well, more so in the third season, to like get kind of that father-daughter dynamic back to what it should have been all along. And now in the fourth one, we get to see them kind of in a much better place and fighting together to get this one thing that we both want, which is Las Colinas to be back to its original glory. So I don't know, man. It's just been so great. And also they got to write a lot of the character kind of already knowing me because I was already part of it. So they're like, okay, we see Vico, we see her essence. She looks like she would be a very type A type of manager and she would be on top of the things and she would be a no bullshit kind of person. So I'm like, great, let's do that. So and that's kind of what Paloma became, and I'm so happy about that.
That's really cool, actually, to be able to ride around you. I know that a lot of times, it's after a little bit of time to get to know you, that showrunners are like, okay, this is what we can do. So to get to explore you now better in these last two seasons, this one and the previous one is great. Now, you're working with literally one my favorite Mexican actor of all time. I grew up watching De Vez en Cuando and all kinds of things. And it wasn't until I think it was last year, maybe the previous year, that I got to chat with him and his family a couple of times, which was insane. Tell me about your experience in working with Eugenio.
I'm sure you had a similar experience, but I love him even more now than I did before I met him. He's truly so wonderful. I used to see him as this very kind of massive, larger than life figure, and then getting to know him and seeing that, he's a human who is, first of all, so kind, so accessible, and and who has such a strong work ethic that really reflects what a big career he's been able to build and getting to be a part of that and interact with him in his process and in finding the funny behind the thing and exploring different kinds of funny within the same thing um, was such a privilege. I learned a lot from him. I Yeah, I mean, I keep saying that the stakes were so high being next to him and just especially in one-on-one scenes and having to be funny and not completely bomb any scene. Being next to him was a big challenge, but I'm so glad with how it turned out, truly. And he was such a great coworker.
Yeah, and speaking of great coworkers, I did speak with your on-show husband, Cristo, and I
He,
know you guys also work together on Una Pequeña Confusión. Um, and just in general, like how great is this cast? Because I mean, I there's not a character on here that I don't want to know more about.
That I love that you said that. I fully agree with that. I find it so hard. My boyfriend and I were thinking of who our favorite characters were, like a top five, and even getting a top five is difficult. Um, for me, if you care to know, Diane and Esteban are way up there, for instance. I also love, there's just so much Lupe. Oh my gosh, I love Lupe. It just everyone did such a good job with their character, and the casting is just so perfect. And I'm so glad that we got to develop a whole world for the present day storyline because um with Maximo and his nephew that was really fun, and that's a storytelling device that kind of goes walks that path, but now introducing all these different dynamics and getting to see also the 80s characters in present day and what they look like and where they are, and getting the cameos that we got were pretty spectacular. Did you see we got Lin-Manuel's father to be a part of it too?
Hmm.
He plays Beto in present day. Oh, Luis Miranda. I was so starstruck when I met him too. So yeah, I mean the cast is incredible and Cristo's incredible, and getting to work with him in these three different spaces because it was the third season, and then we got to do a movie together, which really brought us a lot closer. And then getting to work with him again on the fourth one and seeing how our relationship, behind the cameras, just our friendship and our creative dynamic evolved. That was very fun to explore too.
Finally, with the wrapping up in this final season four, what's going to stick with you about Acapulco, and why do you think audiences who haven't had a chance to see it need to sit down and check it out?
Oh my gosh, truly they do because everybody deserves to be made happy, throughout their day. I think it's such a feel-good show, and whenever you sit down, you just know it's a guarantee that by the end of each episode you'll feel better than you did when you first started watching it. And that I think that's huge, being able to do that, and the creators and the fantastic writers that we have being able to achieve that is so wonderful. People have been calling it, well, not that I say it, but I truly been hearing that it is kind of the Mexican Ted Lasso, and that to me is a huge compliment because it's just such a feel-good show. Um, and yeah, it's one of those projects that I'm fully aware I'm never going to be able to do again. It's just so magical. The family that we created behind the cameras is so close, and we're still so close. And yeah, just being able to be a part of this is massive. It's my favorite project that I've ever been on in my career. So it truly is very special, and I have so much love for it. And besides having a lot of love for the process of making it, I truly love the product. I'm a huge fan of the show. So I really hope that whomever hasn't seen it gives it the chance because it's so worth it.
Yeah, it's one of the many great shows on Apple TV Plus. Vico, thank you so much for your time. I do this because I mean, I love to not only talk TV and movies, but I also like to express my gratitude to the people who make shows that I love to watch. So thank you. It
Thank you so much, Manny. That means a lot, truly. Thank you so much.
was nice to meet you, and hopefully we'll talk to you on another project.